Okay. So design job requirements. Back our purchasing jobs all kind of read the same or pretty close to the same because we just copy the stuff from one to the other. But this is the way they say to do it. So conduct role design evaluation and potential job redesign requirements. Organizational functional requirements. The department objectives and goals will assist in determining the functional requirements necessary to implement the strategies. An example of purchasing department strategy might be to expand strategic sourcing from a domestic to a global source. An example of a companion functional requirement for this strategy would be to employ personnel with knowledge and expertise in international business. So purchasing will be required to operate in cross-functional teams, be able to respond more quickly to today's rapid changes. So that's probably part of the requirement. Stakeholder requirements. Stakeholders have to agree with supply management goals and objectives, otherwise you got a problem. And many organizations embrace a cross-functional team approach to decision-making. I find that surprising, but okay. And engage stakeholders in defining knowledge requirements and disseminating information. I think they use a cross-functional team to gather information. I don't think it's decision-making, though. Job analysis is the process of collecting and analyzing job-related information. So it's composed of the following: the job description, which has typical parts like title, position summary, list of essential functions, title of each function, priority, percentage of time spent, percentage of travel, reporting relationships, etc., etc. And then job specification. So you've got job description and then job specifications, which is a listing of all related to successful performance of the job, all items related to successful performance of the job. So knowledge, skills, abilities, experience, educational requirements, those type of things. And we list these in our job descriptions. And then if there's any certifications or qualifications that you need to have, or you can say would like to have, or would make more competitive, or something like that. Elements of job design, you got three components. You got job activities describing the work methods, specifying the methods of performing the task if necessary, which usually you don't do that. And job content, combining specific tasks into jobs for assignments to individuals. And research on job design over the 20th century started out with making the jobs more specific, which produced the assembly line and boredom and turnover. And during the later part of the 20th century, the focus was on enriching job designs to increase satisfaction, so you don't have as much turnover. Job isn't quite as boring. So Hackman and Oldham job characteristics model has 5 core job dimensions: skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback. So employees holding enriched jobs will have a sense of meaningfulness in their work, responsibility, knowledge of actual results and work performed. And staffing and talent management. So once the description of the position and its requirements have been prepared, a determination of the skill and knowledge base required must be made. So the analysis should determine the specific qualifications, skills, background, etc., necessary to perform the required work satisfactorily. And generally, characteristics of a commodity manager include things like product knowledge, principles of supply management, analytic ability, technology-related skills. You operate certain software programs, negotiation, interpersonal skills, and the ability to deal with change. As the position leans more towards the managerial side, the need for general, more specific, more strategic skills backed by proven experience will be needed. So as you move up the ladder, you become less of a specialist and more of a generalist. For international jobs, the most important skills are building relationships, valuing people, different cultures, listening and observing, coping with ambiguity, and translating complex information into the host country language. So pressure to accelerate leadership development and job challenges may also increase the risk of failure. In other words, if you promote somebody too fast. A balance must be struck so the employee is challenged but not promoted before they're ready. And then they have something called span of influence, which you'll see on the test. So influence is a subtle yet complex concept that directly or indirectly causes a change in the behavior of another individual or group. So a change in the behavior. So it manifests itself in multiple ways. Hardworking individual influences through example. A manager may use their position as a source of influence, and a celebrity may use their name recognition. So the span of influence is the extent to which people interact with and influence others outside of their span of control. So your span of control is pretty narrow. Those are the people that you write the PARs for. But your span of influence is basically people that you interact with throughout the day. Mechanisms such as dual reporting and matrix structures serve to encourage an increased span of influence. Yeah, they're also complicated and most people don't do them. And position level would also allow the CEO or CPO to exert a wide span of influence just because they're at the top of the pyramid. The internet, email, blogs, and other electronic communications enable individuals to have a large span of influence. It's just easier to get the communication out. And given their wide span of potential influence, electronic communications must be monitored for accuracy. Yeah, fake news. So they do not reflect poorly on the perceptions of the company by the public. Roles of leaders, managers, and facilitators. So those that have a leadership role in the company increasingly must demonstrate sound decision-making and the ability to inspire and influence others. And managers have the formal task of administration, overseeing workflow and making sure things get done, delegating work, and so on. Manager also needs to have strong leadership skills and be able to identify other up-and-coming managers. So we'll cover the difference between managerial skills and leadership skills in coming module. Role of leaders, so there are also individuals without a formal role in management who play a critical role as facilitators. People who ensure that work gets done by communicating within and between groups. And these people are frequently informal leaders, but may or may not have an interest in management. So you got formal managers and you got informal managers. So all of the following are individual and organizational outcomes associated with an employee with high job satisfaction, except which one does not belong with the others? B.
What?
What did you say? B or D
C.
or
C.
C?
Charlie.
Yeah. I guess I would kind of have to go with that too, because they all look like they would belong. Let's see what these guys have to say.
To me, like, I don't know, requesting information and need for information are actually different. Because I'm like, requesting information shows that you're engaged.
Yeah, so because a high need for information may or may not be a factor for an employee with high job satisfaction. Okay. They say it's more personality dependent. All right. The CPO of a multinational organization has decided to add a new position, Director of European Procurement, to her organization. The items listed below are elements that would be included in a job specification, focusing on the knowledge, skills, and abilities of the new position. Which of the following is of least importance for the CPO to include in the job description? Director of European Procurement. And I remember this question and I don't like it at all, but I'll let you guys work through it.
Yeah, because it's probably like they all look good.
Yeah.
I'd assume B because most of the times our working language is English, so in a way you're not required, albeit it's very helpful.
Yeah, it's something dumb like that. Let me take a look and see what it is.
I was thinking that too, Henry.
Yeah, what is it? B, because a director level position in a large multinational company will have other ways to interpret as needed. Okay, so it's like, yeah, I don't know where they came up with that, but all right.
Yeah, my mom was the general manager of Europe for her organization for a bit,
Yeah.
and she felt really bad because can only speak English, and like even her admin was five languages fluent.
Yeah, that could be hard on your confidence. All
I bet
right.
Travis Stewart doesn't know any Dutch too, right? Don't tell him I said that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't. All right, there's 8 questions out there, so go ahead and get on them, and we'll go over it. Go over the answers at 10 till, unless you guys get done earlier. Raise your hand.
Done now too, Rick.
Okay. Let's go over some answers then. All right. Number 1 is delta, because the other 3 options are considered important elements in the negotiation planning. But the workers to administrators doesn't really matter. 2 is bravo, because a written negotiation plan will help Luke think through what are his goals for the negotiation.
I think we're at the wrong thing.
What's that?
I think we're in the wrong thing.
Oh, are we? Yeah, I'm looking at 1 C2. I need to be looking at 3 C2. I don't know why I always do that.
Wrong in a row is unacceptable.
Yeah. Let's try the right answers here. All right, so 1 is still D.
Damn.
but 2 is A. Facilitators have excellent communication skills.
Oh, I still got that wrong. Okay.
All right. 3 is delta. Internal objectives far outweigh suppliers' objectives when it comes to designing and staffing a purchasing function. 4 is bravo. High specialization and efficiency are characteristics of a narrow job with high output, such as an assembly line. 5 is alpha. Reclassifying today's jobs would not create a situation where cross-training is any more necessary than it was before the classification. 6 is bravo. Job rotation may be used as a training tool or to expand people's skills. It's not a factor in satisfaction. 7 is alpha. Breaking work down into smaller pieces is the least likely to result in job enrichment. Job enrichment comes from expanding the job. And 8 is also alpha. Evaluating internal and external commodity data. All right. Any questions? All right.
Why is it not B?
What? Number 8?
Yeah.
Option B is not correct because although a change in behavior is desired, the method chosen to create that change is to operate from analysis of the data, not directly engage in change management, education, or training. Kind of lame, but that's what they think. All right. So we will pick up again tomorrow with C4. See you guys. Yeah.
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah.